All right. Hi, everybody in the Wonsulting YouTube community. I believe we're live now, and that's exciting. We are excited to welcome you to the Wonsulting Project 2020 Summit Pitch Day #1. We have another one tomorrow, but we definitely wanted to get the fun started today, and we're excited to have our first group here to just showcase a little bit about what they've been doing this summer as part of the Wonsulting Project 2020. So to introduce myself a little bit, my name is Umessha. I am a program manager at Wonsulting, and Tiara.
Hi everyone, I'm Tiara and I'm also a program manager at Wonsulting. We're super excited to be here today and we are going to introduce our first group of the day, Maya.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So hi, my name is June, pronounced like the month. I am the founder of Maya, and I have the pleasure of speaking to you a little bit about my project, what we chose to do for Wonsulting Project 2020. And so before I start, I just want to give a quick shout out to Wonsulting, everyone here. Man, it was such an awesome opportunity to get a chance to work on this. Now, this is a project that I've wanted to do for some time, but I shelved the idea in order to, it was just something that I had in mind. I wanted to do it for a while, but I needed the right people, the right team to go ahead and do this project. So to begin, let me give you guys a little bit more information about why Maya started in general. So for myself, I'm a data scientist by trade. I'm a full-time teacher, but I'm transitioning into data science. And I've done some work for some startups. I work for a startup now. But one of my students at my school, his name is Jeremiah, and he likes to go by Maya for short. And so awesome guy, super funny, loves playing soccer. He loves scoring goals. But the thing with Maya is that he actually has Down syndrome. And because of that, he has some issues communicating, some issues learning. And he needs an app in order to communicate. Now, the app that he was using, it's not very effective because one, he doesn't like using it. And two, it costs a lot of money. And so it's a really big issue that students like Maya have, people like Maya have all across the US. And so I'll get into that a little bit more. But here's the problem with today's AAC market. So AAC, it stands for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. It's a descriptor of a type of tool for the speech impaired. It allows the speech impaired to be able to speak with each other, to be able to speak with others in their community by selecting options, buttons that will dictate words for them. Now, the industry standard is actually around $250, and that's excluding in-app purchases. And because I've worked with my student working with this app, there are so many issues and flaws. The app could have been redesigned entirely. There's poor UX UI. It's significantly overpriced, and there's not a lot of functionality outside of what's initially offered from basically every AAC out there. And so I didn't feel that it was a reasonable solution for the speech impaired. The big problem is that $250 is not an equitable solution for parents and for the communities of those who have speech impairment or learning disabilities. And so I set out to create, and yeah, it's called Maya because I named it after Jeremiah. And I got his parents' permission. Yeah, I'm calling this Maya, and Maya actually stands for Machine Learning Informed AAC Helper. And so the goal of Maya is to take machine learning and to incorporate it into building a better, equitable, and effective speech solution for students who are just like Jeremiah and for all sorts of speech impaired people. And so the goal of Maya, what we set out to do was introduce a product that had a better UX and UI, that began to incorporate machine learning, and that actually generated user reports. Now, the first two things kind of speak for themselves, but the reason I wanted to incorporate reports is that the big issue with AACs out there on the market is that there's no method of feedback for overseers of the users. In order for the users to exhibit growth, there needs to be some sort of system in place that shows the overseers of the users, whether that's teachers, parents, speech and language pathologists, some sort of way to quantify progress in speech development. And so I set out to build Maya, and at the same time that I had the idea for Maya, Wonsulting, the company Wonsulting, we're all here now, came out with the Project 2020 initiative, which was a great chance to meet my team members, to get them on board for this project. And so a real quick introduction. We have Alina, she was our brand designer, Daesung, back-end engineer, Kushbu, our UX designer, and Michelle, our front-end engineer. And we had a few consultants as well, and I do want to give a quick shout out to them, as well as to my friend Nate. Nate, he helped us deploy this app. And so, yeah, it's live and it's an effective web page now. And so our timeline, just real quickly going over it, we assembled our team, we started development. We were fortunate to get the micro grant from the Wonsulting and Side Effects podcast. And yeah, I got to appear on Side Effects, which was really cool to share the same things I'm sharing with you now, the motivation behind Maya. So what we ended up accomplishing was creating an actual viable MVP. And an MVP, it stands for a minimal viable product, which basically is a working minimum, like kind of just enough to show that we can get this thing to work. And so this is an actual image of our MVP. We went ahead and developed it, connecting it with some speech APIs. And how it works is you can actually go ahead and select the options that you want to, select the symbols that you want to, click speak, and simple as that, the app will actually speak. And so the MVP, the purpose of it is to, one, show investors eventually that, yes, we can get this thing up and running and it will be better than competitive apps out there. And we are not going to charge $250 for it. So that's a big thing. But we also wanted to create an MVP so that I can actually get involved with getting this to users and getting feedback. And so I was really happy with our progress. We were able to actually finish our MVP, which is huge. And so the types of people that'll benefit from this app, from Maya, are people with developmental disabilities, genetic conditions, acquired disorders, progressive disorders, and cognitive communication disorders. And so there's all sorts of people, literally millions around the US, who have needs that are not being met, but Maya can actually help them with their communication needs. And so right now, over 40 million people in the US have some sort of communication disorder. But based on the research that I've done and the data that I've scraped off of the Google Play and App Stores, less than 1% of these people actually have their needs met with an AAC tool. And those that are being met are paying on average around $200. And so the future of Maya means taking our MVP after we've now actually deployed it. And the hope is that there are going to be donors or investors who see Maya, see the impact that it can have on not just the users, but the communities the users exist in themselves, and eventually create a better community for those with speech impairments. And so investment will allow us to now hire a dedicated team to develop this, pay for data storage, and marketing and branding efforts. And so you can follow us here at the Maya app. We have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a Twitter account, and LinkedIn. And so shoot me an email if you're interested. But yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share about Maya. If you'd like to get in touch, I would love that. Thank you so much.
That okay. Okay, I think my mic is finally working. Again, technical difficulties have been a thing from the get-go today, but thank you so much for sharing a little bit more about your project. We're incredibly inspired by one, the origin story as to how Mia came about, but how much you guys were able to do from getting that micro grant from side effects to where you are now. And just a huge congratulations to you and your team. And we're excited to see where it continues as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the feedback. And yeah, I look forward to getting to know whoever's out there watching right now.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Thank you, June, and thank you, the Maya team, for this.
All right, so we have our next team coming in about 5 minutes, and we're really excited to continue with our Wonsulting Project 2020 Day 1. So hang in there for a little bit longer, and we'll come back with a bigger surprise.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for tuning in today. We have our next team, Anyakare, but before that, we also want to reintroduce ourselves. So my name is Tiara, and I'm the program manager at Wonsulting.
Hi guys, my name is Sherry and I'm the social media intern of Wonsulting. Nice to meet you guys.
Awesome. So our next team is called Anyakare, and here they are. Hello, Asif. Hello, Trong.
Hello
Hey, hello,
guys.
both of you. How are you guys?
We're good. How about you
Awesome.
guys?
We're doing good.
We're both very great. It's very late here in Europe, but it's fine.
Yeah,
so Tron here
very
from
late in
Paris.
Europe.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm from the UK.
Awesome. What time is it there?
For me, 10 p.m. now, and for Truong, 11 p.m.
11 p.m.
Very late. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll get
Maybe
started.
you guys can introduce yourselves
Hmm?
first.
What'd you
Yep.
say,
So we'll let you guys take it away and present your Wonsulting Project 2020.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so moving on to the slides. So our product is called Anyakare, as you can see right there. The way we got onto this project was we saw the situation we were in, the way COVID placed us, and we saw the stress on the medical system, and especially the medical staff. Nurses were quitting because, so much stress, and we decided we wanted to help in that domain. So we looked at what type of systems they use and how we could help. And that's why we came across EHRs, known as electronic health records. And through that, medical staff, like especially nurses, they were able to put down data and share patient data amongst the hospital and amongst other hospitals that it was under the same branch. And after contacting several people throughout healthcare, especially a registered nurse called Becky, who works in Miami, we saw that there were many, many flaws in those systems, and we wanted to help. We wanted to provide a sense of modernity with them. So, without further ado, we shall move on. And table of contents is here. So as you can see, we've got a little bit to go through. But before that, I'd like to introduce our team. Not all of them could be here, unfortunately. However, all of these particular individuals were all relevant to this particular project. They were all able to help in their own marvelous way. So this is an example of what you can see. So this is how it looked like from a basic standpoint. However, towards the end, there can be a demonstration if you want to find out more information. Okay, so when we were looking at the healthcare system, we saw 4 values that were most important. Refinement. As I said, we want to overhaul the system and make it look much, much better than it currently is. Security, because patient data, medical data in general, is very, very sensitive. Transparency, because especially when it comes to billing, patients should have the right to understand what their actual bills are and what services they are being charged for, and quality. Again, leading from my previous point, where the quality of different providers wasn't up to the standard we thought that healthcare should be. So, a little explanation on the logo here. Timeline and the research. So you can see here, the research was done by talking to medical staff, and the secondary research was looking at different scientific articles. And these are the problems we found to be the most prominent points. There were some minor ones, however, we thought these to be the big ones. So medical billing, the inability to transfer patient data from one hospital service provider, like Epic, to another. So staff would have to print out all this data and have to manually input it. And obviously this wastes nurses' time who could be helping patients. The UI design and functionality is severely outdated. So information would be overflown, like you'd find so much data in your face and you'd have to navigate through that. And of course, that takes time again. And the first point, key information is forgotten because during appointments, data is only put down towards the end of the appointment. With dictation, which we added, it allows data to be, for example, if a patient was saying that these issues, we can just speak it, or the medical staff rather, they can just say these words and it will be noted down. So no information will be obscure. These are the aims of our particular product. optimizing data storage with functional design to improve efficiency, minimize patient wait times, and secure that information via blockchain, and fulfill seamless flow of information. So this is an example of, this is a touch on how we're going to go through our security issues. Blockchain, especially dealing with sensitive data, blockchain is the most secure method. And the HIPAA is it's the regulation authority that healthcare systems use in America. We decided America simply because of some of our members are based there, and we could get specific insights into there. To promote this product, we were thinking conferences, seminars, engaging content and website design. Oops. And it could be video marketing or search engine optimization, which some of these we saw our competitors using, like Epic and Cerner. However, some of these we thought, because it's more of a professional product, we decided to use seminars and such. And these are target markets. And as I said, different companies here. So you got Epic, you got Cerner. A lot of these companies are missing some of the information that we are providing, some of these services we are providing. And if this works, okay, so this is a link to our prototype. Let it take its time. Okay, so example what it can look like, and then say, for example, we have this fictional clinic here. 2 seconds. It's quite. Let me load it up on Chrome instead. Bear with me here. Sorry, design is not my department, so that should work. Okay, there we go. Finally in. So this is what it will look like. The appointments will be right here, so doctors can see it, or the medical staff can actually see it right in front of them. And then if we go to patient profiles, let me see here. Me, for example. We have all the analytics here, such as vitals, length of stay, prescriptions, and the relevant documents. This is just an example of our work. And throughout the short time that we had this project, we're able to push this forward. And I think we've found something truly remarkable here. And as I said, this particular product is aimed to be used in all practices in America. So it's not really, what's the word? It's not discriminating against any sort of medical practice. It can be used in anything whatsoever. And yeah, that is our...
So to summarize, I would say we aim to improve the billing within a healthcare, and so any services are stored and can be passed to the relevant departments between the organization. This prevents any information to go missing, and thus prevents delays of care to patients. And also dictation part allow medical staff to free up their hands with working with the patient, allowing information to be stored and as soon as possible in each department whenever they receive it. So again, ensuring that no information is missing. So we provide a simple interface with seamless integration segmented data dictation, and more. Our brand adheres to the relevant of trust and quality and security, as you said before. And there's this value allow the product to serve the medical staff efficiently and prevent any issue to be passed on the patients. We focus on the simplicity of the product, whereas Cerna is known to work like an Excel spreadsheet, and Epic is overflows users with constant data, which they then have to navigate. So this causes the staff to work less efficiently, and this turn causes delay of care. So that's all the product we have been developed through 3 months working intensively. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much for your time today. Really love Anyakare's mission. How did you guys started with that, or like how did the idea came out in the first place?
As I said, we'll bounce around a few ideas, and because we saw the impact on healthcare, especially during COVID, we decided we want to help in that domain. And yeah, we were lucky enough to have contact with some nurses in the US, and we thought, okay, this is something we can do our product on. And because we're fortunate to have Lily, for example, in design, and we have our technical lead, Davis, we were able to like look at this product and think we could do something with this.
Cool, amazing, guys. Like really, really great job. And I think like your project is really amazing, but like tell us a little bit about like the challenges that you guys had while making like this amazing project, because I'm sure it's not simple to make this, right?
Yeah, because healthcare is such a vast domain, it was a very complex, like understanding exactly what we were talking about, because when we first saw EHRs, EMRs, we were like, we don't know what this is. So it's always, when it was learning about it, it was always 1 step forward, 2 steps back, because we think, okay, we get the hang of this. But then we're like, oh, this could mean so many different more things. So it was just a constant learning environment. And then another issue with particular the group was we come from different areas. So for example, Lily, who's based in San Francisco, she is 8 hours behind me, my time zone. And Thomas is 1 hour ahead. And we have an individual in India who is 5 hours ahead. So it was just navigating these different times. And sometimes we'd have to stay up to ridiculous at times, like 3 a.m., for example.
I would say like, yes, as if mentioned before, it's also about scheduling. So since we live in the different areas, so that's why it's very hard for us to organize a meeting, the board of meeting, where we have all the team member joining the meeting. So that's why, like, when we assign the task and identify the task, we have to assign them, like, they're gonna have to work individually, and then they're gonna give a report after that. So every time when we have the meeting, we have to record the videos, and then we put it on a private storage. So that's why other team member can watch it later. And another thing is that, like, we have the mentor, and who, like, most of them, they are living in United States. So that's why, like, we have to stay up late to keep in touch with them. Yeah, it's pretty hard, but I mean, like, eventually we did it very well. So I'm so proud of my team, really.
Yeah, super proud. And luckily we had each other to support on. So if there was issues where I couldn't make it, I had Thomas, and then, for example, we had Lily as well. And yeah, we will have to sacrifice a little bit of our times just to work on this project, especially in September when school starts for some people. We really had to accommodate for that. And as I said, for each of our meetings, there's always one person missing. So it was always, having to catch this person up and deal with this. So that's why I'm very, very lucky to be working with these people.
Definitely. And I totally relate. Oh, sorry, Lily, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to thank my team for helping me out when I was overwhelmed.
Yeah, because design, it was the main focus of this, because of the nature of the product. Making a prototype from a technical standpoint was very, very difficult. So we had to use design as our pushing element. We had to use design to help display our product. And as you can see, it was very, very complex to navigate. And Lily all made that possible, and Talitha as well.
Yeah, she's not here, but yeah, she helped me a lot with the design. We did it in Figma, and I feel like I learned a lot from her, just as she learned a lot from me.
Yeah, that was another thing too, like just learning from all my members.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I love that. I love that insight. Thank you guys for today. And thank you guys again for participating in the Wonsulting Project 2020. We hope to see you guys next year for the Wonsulting Project 2021. And let's stay in touch and get connected. Thank you again for today.
Okay.
Thank you both. Have a good night.
Thank you very much.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, guys, that was Anyakare, and our next team will be presenting in just a few minutes. So please hang on tight, and we'll see you guys soon.
Hi, everyone.
Everyone,
Again.
welcome back. This is our last team for the day, MFMP Advisory. We're super excited to hear their pitch, and let's welcome them. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Mo, Rachel,
Hi.
and Nicole.
Hi.
How are you guys?
We're doing good. How are you?
Good
We're
as
doing
well.
great too.
All right, I'll leave it to you guys to present your project.
Good afternoon. My name is Mo.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Rachel.
And we are MFMP Advisory.
So this is a timeline of our project. MFMP Advisory was first formed on July 15th, where we all met through the Wonsulting LinkedIn group. From July 15th to August 1st, we all reached out to a number of companies and organizations, seeing where interests match, as well as who would be willing to have us work with them. On August 3rd, we had our first meeting with DCRAC, which is the Delaware Community Reinvestment Action Council. From there, they had a number of different services that we talked about with them, and we ultimately decided to focus our efforts on the Money School Initiative, which is a subgroup of DCRAC. From August 3rd through August 27th, we brainstormed with our Money School contact, ultimately deciding to focus on their social media. And on August 27th, we launched their new Instagram and Twitter handles. As of September 18th, we have seen success in our social media platforms. We have seen that the Money School has had an increased number of signups, and they are currently at 15% of their signup goal.
Okay, so Jasmine Lilly, the director of the Money School, described DCRAC like a great present hidden in a cardboard box. They have strong content, but no good method to advertise it. So their initial pain points were outreach. Their social media accounts were not well maintained, and they lacked Instagram and Twitter presence, and their organization and structure, as classes were not well attended due to technology issues, and potential customers would take away time from Jasmine's day to ask basic questions that were already available on the website.
So here's a list of some of the ideas that we came up with while we were brainstorming with Jasmine and others at the Money School. As mentioned previously, we chose to focus on their social media presence. One thing specifically that we did through the Instagram and Twitter is launch a financial literacy for everyone campaign that allowed us to reach our younger audience that we were targeting.
And for our final product, we were able to launch an Instagram and Twitter with different types of content, whether it be videos from classes or infographics. All were relating back to the great content that the Money School was already putting out. And we also tracked more of our journey throughout this process through a website. And we have different blog posts talking about how we use design thinking to come up with some solutions and how the process was for us during this project. And overall, for the results, we were able to create the Instagram and the Twitter with over 50 new followers, and it's even grown a lot more since we made this slide. And with that web traffic that we were able to gain through the social media, it was able to get them 15% closer to their sign-up goals for their 12-week program, which is really exciting. And we also help revamp the internship program. That way, the future interns are going to help take ownership of the social media once we're done with this project. And it can help maintain the social media way after and create engagement for the internship program as well.
At this time, we'd like to thank Jasmine, Rashmi, and Gary for allowing us to work with DCRAC. Finally, we'd also like to thank Jonathan and Jerry for starting this initiative.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, great job, guys. Great job. Love the project. So where did you guys get the inspiration to do this amazing project?
Yeah, I think that when we got paired with DCRAC, we were initially looking for organizations that we could help, and we spent weeks and weeks trying to reach out and cold message people. And Mo actually was the one who's from Delaware and had a connection with this project. And that's when we started doing a lot of investigation, like we mentioned, using design thinking, asking a lot of questions. And that's how we kind of came up with the social media as their main pain point and something we thought we could add a lot of value to.
Amazing. Oh, Tiara, you're on mute.
I'm so sorry. There are so many technical difficulties today. But thank you guys so much for participating in our project, and we hope to see you guys for our Wonsulting Project 2021 next year.
Awesome. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh wow, that was
Awesome.
amazing, Tiara.
Yeah, it was. That was our last theme for today, and we will be continuing our part 2 tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we hope to see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys there. In the meantime, do join our Discord, which we will leave after this. So thank you so much, guys.
All right. See you, everyone. Bye.